Have you ever wondered why, amongst so many people in the world, it was precisely you that this cat chose? Was it really you who adopted this animal? Or was it the cat who found you? Think about that moment. Maybe you were walking down an ordinary street, absorbed in your daily problems, when suddenly, there it was, a pair of eyes watching you from afar as if they had known you for ages. Or perhaps it appeared at your door on a cold night, meowing softly, not just asking for food or shelter, but something deeper, permission to enter your life and transform it in ways you couldn't even imagine yet. There are things in life that logic cannot explain. Like that moment when you're sad, exhausted, carrying the weight of a difficult day, and suddenly, without any call, your cat appears. It approaches slowly, with that natural feline elegance, settles near your chest or head, and just stays there in silence, but something inside you changes. The tension in your shoulders decreases. Your breathing becomes deeper, mental chaos quiets down. What do those silent eyes manage to see? What do they perceive in your interior that even you don't know about yourself? Many people see cats merely as reserved animals, sometimes cold, other times unpredictable. They label their independence as coldness, their selectivity as arrogance. But those who truly observe, with patience and an open heart, understand their silence speaks, and it speaks more than many empty words thrown around, more than hollow speeches or empty promises. When a cat stares at you intently, with that intensity that seems to pierce through your skin, it feels like it's reading you not from the outside, but from within. It doesn't care about your clothes, your social status, your bank account, or how many followers you have on social media. It sees straight into your essence, into what you really are when all masks fall away. It's a communication that transcends words. It's as if it were saying, I see you, the real you. And that's okay in that gaze. There's an unconditional acceptance that few human beings can offer each other. Ancient civilizations already knew this. In Egypt, cradle of one of humanity's most fascinating cultures, cats weren't just domestic animals. They were considered spiritual protectors, connectors between dimensions, sacred guardians. Magnificent statues were erected in their honor. Complex rituals were performed to invoke their protection. Even burial honors were granted, complete with mummies and ornate sarcophagi. The goddess based it, with a cat's head and woman's body, represented protection, fertility, and feminine lunar energy. She wasn't worshipped out of whim or empty superstition, but from deep recognition. Cats weren't just companion animals. They were guardians between the physical world and what human eyes cannot capture. The Celts also recognized this wisdom for them. Cats were capable of traveling between worlds, carrying messages from ancestors, and protecting their homes from negative energies. In Japanese folklore, cats are considered capable of warding off evil spirits and bringing good luck. Indigenous cultures around the world independently developed similar beliefs about the spiritual nature of felines. Could so many civilizations, separated by oceans and centuries, all be imagining things? Or were they perceiving something that our modern society, so focused on the material and scientific, lost along the way? You can notice they don't react to just anything. A cat can sleep peacefully during a noisy party, completely ignore the television on maximum volume, or remain motionless while children play around it. But when they sense something out of the ordinary, something that breaks the energetic pattern of the environment, their entire body responds instantly. Their fur stands up as if thousands of small sensors have been activated. Their gaze fixes on a specific point. Even when there's nothing visible to human eyes, their body freezes in total alert posture, like a soldier detecting enemy movement. And you, not understanding, think it was just a noise, a shadow, a draft. But maybe it wasn't. Maybe your cat perceived the approach of someone with dubious intentions, still blocks away. Maybe it sensed an energetic change in the environment that precedes important news. Maybe it detected a spiritual presence that you, with your limited human senses, cannot perceive. Have you ever noticed how some cats simply move away from certain people? How they hide under the bed when particular visitors arrive, even if these people are apparently nice and well-intentioned? And at the same time, how they stick to other people as if wanting to protect them, envelop them in a safety bubble. This isn't just feline personality or animal whim. This is pure energetic perception. Cats possess a natural sensitivity to detect vibrations, intentions, and emotional states that we, with our rational minds, often ignore or rationalize. They sense when there's genuine peace in a person, when there's true love, when there's a clean and transparent soul. But they also perceive when something is dissonant, when there's falseness behind a smile, when there are heavy energies or obscure intentions masked by superficial kindness. It's as if they possessed a natural authenticity detector, and this can be invaluable protection. For you, how many times has your cat shown discomfort with someone who you later discovered wasn't trustworthy? How many times has it been affectionate with people who became important in your life? Sometimes a cat doesn't approach you out of sympathy, affection, or desire to receive pets. It stays close when your soul needs to be calmed, when your heart is wounded, when your energy is misaligned. It's as if it had a specific mission, to be an instrument of healing and balance in your life. Observe how it behaves in your most difficult moments. It purrs not just from contentment, but as if massaging your invisible pains, transmitting a healing vibration that penetrates your skin and reaches places no medicine can touch. And even without asking for anything in return, even without expecting rewards or recognition, it gives everything: presence, vibration, unconditional care. When you're anxious, it positions itself on your chest, as if wanting to calm your racing heartbeat. When you have a headache, it snuggles close to your head as if trying to absorb the discomfort. When you're sad, it simply remains by your side, offering silent company that's worth more than 1,000 words of comfort. Science has begun to discover what many had felt for centuries, which was dismiss a superstition or imagination. A cat's purr has a specific frequency, between 20 and 25 Hz, which has been shown to have real and measurable therapeutic effects. This vibration helps cellular regeneration, accelerates healing of fractured bones, reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and even relieves physical pain. Veterinarians have observed that cats with broken bones recover faster than other animals, and some attribute this to the healing effect of purring itself. Therapists have used recordings of feline purring to help people with insomnia, anxiety, and depression. Hospitals and rehabilitation clinics are beginning to recognize the therapeutic value of cats' presence. But what no study can fully measure is the impact this sound has on the human heart, on the wounded soul, on the tired spirit, because purring doesn't just relax the body. It touches the soul in a way that transcends scientific explanations. It's like a prayer in vibration form, a blessing whispered directly in your ear. And this is where we understand a profound truth. Maybe this animal didn't come just to fill your house with fur, scratch your furniture, or purr in your lap. Maybe it was sent by a greater force to align what's misaligned within you, to bring back the harmony you lost in the rush of modern life. Maybe it's a therapist in disguise, a four-legged angel, an instrument of the divine to remind you that you are loved, that you're not alone, that there's a superior intelligence caring for you even when you don't notice. Many ignore this. They think it's exaggeration, fantasy, human projection onto animal behaviors. They rationalize everything as coincidence or romantic interpretation of reality. But how do you explain when a cat insists on sleeping in the same place where you feel pain? How do you justify when it refuses affection from someone apparently kind, but who later reveals disturbing energy? How do you understand when it spends hours sitting at the window, observing something you can't see, but which makes you uneasy too? How do you interpret when it positions itself at your bedroom entrance like a guardian, preventing something from entering while you sleep vulnerably? Cats don't judge by eloquent speech, perfect smiles, impeccable appearance, or bank accounts. They feel the essence, the truth behind social masks. They recognize when something is out of harmony with the environment, when there's an energetic dissonance that needs to be corrected or removed. And that's why, when your cat acts differently than usual, it's worth paying attention. It might be an alert about a situation you haven't consciously perceived yet. It might be preventive care, anticipated protection. It might be God speaking to you subtly, through a messenger you'd never suspect, because, yes, divine signs don't always come in the form of grandiose miracles, spectacular visions, or celestial voices echoing from the heavens. Most of the time, they arrive much more subtly and discreetly. Sometimes, they come with soft paws that walk silently through your house, attentive eyes that observe your every movement, and a meaningful silence that speaks louder than any word. Sometimes a miracle is simply having a being that loves you unconditionally, that doesn't judge you for your mistakes, that doesn't care about your flaws, that remains by your side in the most difficult moments without asking for anything in return. Sometimes a miracle is having someone who perceives when you're sad, before you even admit it to yourself, who offers comfort without asking questions, who protects you in ways you don't even imagine. And when you feel that fixed gaze, those eyes that seem to see through your soul, as if it knew something about yourself that you haven't discovered yet, trust, don't ignore, don't rationalize. It might be seeing the potential you haven't developed yet, the strength you haven't recognized yet, the path you haven't perceived yet. It might be seeing the incredible person you're becoming, even when you can only see your flaws and limitations. It might be sensing the arrival of positive changes in your life, even when you only see obstacles ahead. The truth is that some souls are born with greater sensitivity, a natural ability to perceive beyond the obvious, to feel subtle energies, to connect with deeper dimensions of existence. But many of these souls take years to perceive and accept this gift. They grow up thinking they're different, strange, displaced in a world that only values what can be touched and measured. Cats, however, don't. They identify these sensitive souls immediately, without hesitation, without doubt. And when they find such a soul, they approach with special devotion, care with extra affection, protect with fierce dedication because they recognize the light, even when it hasn't fully shone. Yet, even when it's hidden behind insecurities and fears, they know you're special before you even disco. This. They sense you have an important mission on Earth, even when you feel lost and purposeless. They perceive you came to make a difference in the world, even when you doubt your own worth. So, next time your cat enters the room for no apparent reason, or stops at the door as if preventing something negative from entering, don't ignore this attitude as mere animal behavior. Next time it positions itself between you and someone who makes you uncomfortable, pay attention to what it's trying to communicate. It might be guarding more than you imagine. It might be protecting not just your physical body, but your energy, your peace of mind, your emotional stability. It might have perceived threats you haven't identified yet, or opportunities you haven't noticed. Maybe you've never thought about this before, but what if your cat is one of the gentlest and most loving ways the divine chose to awaken you? To remind you that you're not alone on this journey? To protect you when you didn't even know you needed protection? To heal you when you didn't even recognize you were wounded? What if each purr is a prayer whispered in your favor? What if each loving gaze is a reminder that you're worthy of love? What if each moment of silent companionship is a disguised blessing? You can call it a pet, a companion animal, a little creature. You might even think all this is just coincidence, exaggerated interpretations, anthropomorphization of instinctive behaviors. You can continue seeing only the practical side of the relationship. It keeps you company. You provide food and shelter. But now that you know, now that you've had access to this deeper perspective, will you still be able to think it was chance that it crossed your path? Will you be able to ignore the perfect synchronicity of the moment it appeared in your life? Or will you finally recognize that some connections transcend chance? That some encounters are orchestrated by a superior intelligence? And that some loves reach us in completely unexpected ways? Your cat may not be able to speak your words, but maybe it is much more to teach about unconditional love, genuine presence, and silent wisdom than many human beings who cross your life. The question that remains is, are you ready to hear what it has to say?